Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We are halfway through the week, but we're only on day 2 of the 2020 Be Blessed video series. And remember, for this video series, we're really trying to hone in on who we are as people and how to live that abundant and blessed life. I know we did a lot of goals last year that kind of identified what a blessed person, or how a blessed person lives and what a blessed person looks like and what that lifestyle looks like. But this year, I think that it is important that we kind of hit different areas of our lives to make sure that, we identified what it looks like. So now how do I look like what that looks like? You know what I'm saying? So remember, each month we're having a main goal, and then each week of the month we're going to break down that goal into kind of like sub goals. This month's goal is to be purposeful. Okay, be purposeful, excuse me. So we're talking about our purpose. We're really trying to identify who we are and what we were created to do. And I think that this is extremely important whenever you're doing anything. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be about yourself, but it could be, for a job or anything like that. It's very important to understand what's the purpose of doing what you're doing. What is the purpose of your life? What is the purpose for living, for getting up every day and going to work and coming home and hanging out with your friends or anything like that? Like, what is your purpose for doing that? Okay? That's important, because if you don't know what your purpose is, you don't know what you were created for or why you're doing whatever you're doing, then you're pretty much just floating in the wind. You're like just here, there, and everywhere. If you don't have a purpose, then what is it here for? It's like taking up space. For example, for my life, I don't want to become a minimalist, but I want to adopt some minimalistic lifestyle ideas. And one of them is getting rid of things that do not serve purpose in your life. So if I have, I'm trying to look around my house to see what I have, but if I have an excess amount of something, why? First of all, I need to ask myself, why do I have that? What purpose is it serving? And get rid of it if it's not serving a purpose in my life. Same thing with us. We want to make sure that we are not just in life with not fulfilling the purpose that God had created us to be, because we all have purpose. That's why we're here. Okay, God kept us here because we have a purpose. So we need to figure out what that purpose is so we can attack it and live those blessed and abundant and fulfilled lives. So today, we're going to continue talking about our purpose, continue trying to identify what our purpose is. I hope everyone did their homework. I did, of course, which, remember, was to figure out what your purpose is, to figure out what you think your purpose is, rather. So remember, I said it would be very helpful if you had like a journal or something with you, just so, as we're going along, you can really look back over, like at the end of 2020, you can look back at 2020 and kind of see like, hey, this is where I started, but look at how much I've progressed. So one of my purposes, because I think I probably do have more than one purpose, but I think the main purpose that I have is to help others experience the life, or help them live that life that God created them to live, that blessed and abundant and fulfilled life. And the reason I know this is because I'm very passionate about growth and development of people. And honestly, I didn't understand how passionate I was until I was at my last job, where I did a lot of training and coaching and developing of the reps to try to get them to be the best employee that they can be, not even knowing that I was helping improve their personal skills and professional skills and just everyday skills that you should have. So that I was able, through that job, and it was such a blessing, but through that job, I was able to really identify what my purpose is here. And I honestly do think it's to help develop and grow people and help them live the best life that they can. And so if you're one of those people who did not have anything written down because you're not quite sure what your purpose is, it's okay, because there are ways that you can figure out what your purpose is. One of the main ways, and I like this quote, and I might post it on the story, or I don't know how I'm going to put it together, but it said that he took something, he being God, he took something destructive in my life and turned it into my purpose. I love that quote because I can identify with that so much. A lot of times I feel like looking at circumstances or looking at things in my life, not necessarily that I was going down a destructive path, but I realized for myself that I was not living a life that I was intended to live. Well, first of all, I grew up in church my whole life. I'm a Christian. You guys have heard, like, my parents are pastors and everything. So you've heard me say it till I'm blue in the face. Like, I love God with all my heart. And I've always had that same mindset. But when I was younger, I feel like I was doing a lot of things that were outside of my purpose. So I wasn't really experiencing a lot of happiness and a lot of joy and a lot of peace. Instead, I was experiencing like turmoil and confusion and destruction and chaos and just a whole bunch of negative things. And I'm just like, God, where you at? Where you at? Like, I've been reading my Bible, I've been praying, I go to church. Like, how come I'm not living an abundant and a blessed life? And again, a blessed life doesn't mean that I have a whole bunch of things, but to me, joy and peace, that is blessed. That is a blessing to me, because like, there's so many, like, I've experienced a life without peace, and I would never want to sacrifice anything to get rid of my peace. So because I was able to get through that, and God kind of pushed me in a direction of like understanding what my purpose is, that's honestly why I want to help people get back to that life, because I've been there. Like, I've been in the place where things were just chaotic and things were just going crazy. And again, disclaimer, that's not to say that my life right now is completely perfect, because it's not. I struggle with things just as the next person struggles with them. But again, it's about my mindset. Like, my mindset has shifted from, when I'm going through a situation, I'm going to cry and I'm going to be woe is me and I'm going to be victimized and I'm going to let that situation define me. My mindset has now changed to, even though I'm in this situation, I know that I'm trying to figure out what I need to learn from this situation. So this situation is here to help grow me or develop me, or I'm in this situation to help grow and develop somebody else. So let me try to get the best out of it instead of, thinking the worst out of it. So that is honestly why I try to do what I do. I don't know if it's effective or not, but because I'm so passionate about it. And that's how I figured out what my purpose was, just based off of the things that I have struggled with or that could have been destructive in my past. So I really like that quote, saying that God took something destructive and turned it into my purpose. Another thing that you can do to help find your purpose is look at the circumstances that are around you. Every door that has been closed, or doors that have been open, or situations that you have found yourself in. Like, obviously you are in that situation for a reason. And look at all, like, even in the past year, look at the things that have transpired in your life. Like, why are you here? Why did God place you in this person's life at this person's time when they were dealing with a laundry list of issues? Like, why am I here? Or why did he put me at this job when I don't like dealing with these type of people? I don't like my coworkers. I don't have a connection with any of them. Like, why did he put me here? So really ask yourself those why questions as to, in every situation, literally in every, you can do it for the small ones too, but for me, I like to do it for the major ones and then work my way to the small ones. But for every major situation, like, why did he allow this to happen to you? And once you figure out why he allowed that to happen to you, you'll be that much closer to figuring out what your purpose is and living and actively living in your purpose, which is what we're going to talk about on Friday, is how to actively live in your purpose. Remember, this year we also want to focus on practical application, because it's not all about saying it. You got to do it, sis. You got to do it, sir. So that is today. It's just making sure we understand what our purpose is. Again, I gave you some ways to find your purpose. If you don't identify with any of those ways, there are plenty of resources out there on the internet to help you find your purpose. You can go speak to a counselor or a therapist. They may be able to help you identify some things in your past that can kind of help you bring out what your purpose is. Go to church, read the Bible, pray. Remember, I'm a big advocate of prayer. So yes, we are living purposeful lives. We're being purposeful beings. Do not waste space. Okay, and if you don't take away anything else, find your purpose so you don't waste space. And that's just that on that. So if everyone has a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll talk to you guys on Friday. Bye.